When was the last time you felt lonely? If you say never, great. I hope you do. But you might say last year, or last week, or today, or maybe even right now. If that's you, you're in the majority. Since the start of the COVID-19 crisis, loneliness has gone up by 65%. That's quite a high number, considering it was a problem before we were all forced to isolate from friends, family members, and coworkers, and spend a significant amount of daily time glued to our screens. A couple of years ago, researchers found that 3 in 5 adults in the United States feel lonely. And in the United Kingdom, every 1 out of 8 adults do not have close friends, and almost 1 out of 5 UK adults feel lonely all of the time. Loneliness has pretty much been a hidden global pandemic before the real pandemic happened, and it may be contributing to serious problems in the digital domain. For a lot of children and youth, feeling attacked, judged, embarrassed, or excluded online is a frequent experience. As our time spent on electronic devices has gone up, so have cyberbullying rates. Throughout the past year, instances of cyberbullying across various social platforms have been on the rise, as has the number of suicidal ideas and attempts among children and teenagers. Even prior to our increased screen time, almost 1/5 of teenagers admitted to having engaged in bullying others online. Cyberbullying is dangerous and terrifying, leading victims to depression, drug abuse, and self-harm. And one of the reasons it may be happening is loneliness. The feeling of loneliness can lead to anger and hostility, which are associated with aggressive behaviors such as bullying. Loneliness creates a cognitive dissonance between the amount of social activity and communication someone wants to have and the amount they actually have, leading the person to feel insecure and hateful. It may even cause them to push others away in order to feel better about their loneliness, like they didn't even need anyone in the first place. For instance, a study from York University revealed that men who are lonely behave more aggressively towards women and feel a greater sense of hostility. And another study from the University of Chicago also demonstrated that loneliness increases stress and anger among university students. And when people are angry, they can become bullies. Let's be honest, it's already common for teenagers to struggle with understanding how to process their thoughts, emotions, and experiences, and respond to others in a healthy way. But when you add loneliness on top of that, it can lead a young person down a really bad path. So, what can we do about it? In many ways, it may seem that technology is the culprit. The more we aim to use it, the worse our social and psychological situation may get. After all, for a bully, the digital realm provides a sense of anonymity and security, the perfect platform for the release of negative feelings. But what if we are looking at it the wrong way? Perhaps as our technological capabilities increase, we can leverage them to combat loneliness and cyberbullying and empower members of society. For instance, let's take the virtual reality. If you've seen people wearing funky goggles reminiscent of Cyclops from the X-Men, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a tool that can transport you to a different location, like space, or allow you to temporarily be Batman if you're into that. It can also help surgeons practice procedures and train corporate employees in industries such as retail. Virtual reality can be viewed as a fun source of entertainment, or as a useful tool for skill training. But it also carries immense possibilities to improve people's mental health. MIT research conducted with older adults who experienced loneliness and a lack of social engagement showed that the use of virtual reality can improve their psychological well-being. The individuals who were exposed to travel and relaxation-related content through virtual reality had more positive emotions and less feelings of social isolation and depression. Conversely, people who viewed similar content on TV did not experience the same positive effects because TV watching is a more passive activity. Scientists have also seen VR technology be effective in reducing anxiety and depression in older adults with cognitive impairments, producing a heightened sense of happiness, relaxation, and adventure, and reduced worry and stress. With a reduction in loneliness and a boost in positive feelings, people may exhibit less aggression, which could serve to alleviate cyberbullying. And here's something interesting. Playing a virtual reality game in which you get to be a superhero can actually make you behave more like one in real life. That's right. A Stanford study in which participants got to experience Superman-like abilities and help others in a VR game resulted in them becoming more helpful and pro-social beyond the game, in the real world. This type of effect was demonstrated across a number of age ranges and countries, including the United States, Japan, and Singapore. What if something similar could be done to train people to be kinder online, to be cyber superheroes? And what if, by engaging in immersive VR experiences, we can feel more connected to the world around us, happier, less lonely? A lot of adults in the audience might be thinking, whoa, my child already spends way too much time in front of the screen. Let me reassure you, digital screen time may not be as harmful to your child in and of itself as you may expect. Oxford researchers discovered that children who spend 1 to 2 hours daily using digital devices exhibit better socio-emotional well-being than children who do not use technology. Of course, more than 5 hours of screen time can get problematic, but moderate doses can be healthy. Either way, in the near future, it is important to figure out ways to make virtual reality more accessible and available so that we can use it to promote the psychological well-being of both children and adults. Another area worth mentioning is robotics. According to a large body of reputable research, different robots have been shown to be effective against loneliness. In fact, robotic dogs have a similar effect of reducing loneliness as real dogs, which is pretty curious. The presence of the pet robot can produce a sense of comfort and companionship, and interactions with a robot, which include petting and cuddling, lead to mood improvement and increased happiness. For individuals who cannot own real pets due to allergies or travel constraints, or who may have difficulties taking care of the pets, robotic ones may be the best option. And the positive results aren't just limited to robotic dogs. Robotic seals and even humanoid robots that kind of look like a thinner version of Baymax from Disney's Big Hero 6 are also helpful. Similarly to our previous discussion on virtual reality, studies conducted in elderly homes in the United Kingdom and Japan found that interactions with talking robots boosted mental health and decreased loneliness. That's pretty great to think about. People can form strong emotional bonds with robotic animals and feel a high level of attachment to them. Some robotic animals can recognize and interpret their surrounding environment and learn to behave in ways that are most comforting and beneficial for the user. Certain robots are more advanced than others, but the theme of improved user well-being is present across different robot types. Although robots, of course, cannot completely replace human interaction, they can serve as a psychological support system when individuals feel lonely or distressed. It is necessary to find ways to increase the accessibility of robotics within our population and extend the possibilities of using robotic pets to people of different ages and incomes. Perhaps in the future, we can also utilize artificial intelligence resources to recognize degrees of loneliness in individuals and provide customized solutions. A recent UC San Diego study used artificial intelligence and natural language processing to investigate how speech patterns may reveal loneliness. Software such as this can be used to identify individuals who are feeling loneliness to a dangerous degree and provide them with specific ways to improve their psychological well-being. Sometimes people may not realize the extent of their emotions or conditions, so they could use AI tools to understand whether they need additional support, and if so, what kind of support would work best for them. As we see technological innovation happening around us, it is crucial to recognize how we can use it to improve the well-being of our society, the well-being of each other. When we feel lonely, unsupported, it can lead us to turn against each other, to be angry and hostile, to become cyberbullies. We must look at virtual reality, robotics, artificial intelligence, these areas that hold so much potential and possibility, and see that we can utilize them to create a better post-pandemic world. A world with less loneliness, with less cyberbullying, a kinder future for all. Thank you.